from the Canadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
I'm reaching my dreams with GUT. They're the ones for me. I'm reaching my dreams with GUT. They're the ones for me. Since 1983, they've been serving the country, and we like all their financing, giving the people what they want, what they need, what they love. Come and join the family that's here for you all the way, from birth to graduation, your first job to your home, and your car through your golden years.
The GT Credit Union has been actively supporting nation building through its many sponsorships and programs, including financial literacy quiz, Pass the Torch Calypso program, junior cooperatives in secondary schools, CPEA, and the TAMCC grants. The credit union has helped many people make their dreams come true. Let them help you with yours. You don't have to be a teacher to be a member. So what are you waiting for?
GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
This is the GBN Television News from Monday, February 22nd, 2021. I'm Chrislyn, Lashington. In the headline, St. Patrick's man placed on bail for Friday's house fire, while fire victim in Guelph pleads for public assistance. People with respiratory conditions urged to use preventative medication before the arrival of a plume of Saharan dust. Long lines on Monday as frontline workers and those in the tourism and hospitality sectors take the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. GSPCA reports increase in stray dogs. For sports and international headlines, here's Trellona Charles.
Tonight and around the globe, protests in Myanmar have led to strikes across the country. And Israel reopens malls and gyms as 45% of the population get vaccinated. Coming up in sports, St. Andrew top standings in the Grenada Premier League T20 tournament. And the Jamaica Scorpions defeat Barbados Pride in the CG Insurance Super 50 Cup.
More when we come back.
This is GBN, the nation's news leader. This segment is brought to you by Quartz Grenada Limited.
We are all essential in the fight against COVID-19.
At Quartz, we're doing our part, and we encourage you to stay at home, stay safe, and shop online at www.shopquartz.com.
For added convenience, our Quartz online customers will receive free delivery and get up to 20% off televisions, appliances, and homewares. Plus, if you shop with Ready Finance, you will pay nothing down for 60 days. Now, you can stay home, shop online, and save.
Remember, do the essential. Wear a mask, wash your hands, practice social distancing, stop the spread.
Good evening. This is GBN's News at 7. The man charged for the fire that destroyed a dwelling house in Hermitage St. Patrick last Friday made his first court appearance on Monday at the Grenville Magistrates Court. 36-year-old Camon Joseph is facing a charge of arson.
Amateur video provided to GBN recorded the screams of a woman forced to watch her home with all her material possessions go up in flames. This is the man charged for the offense. After being charged with arson last Friday for this incident, 36-year-old Kevin Joseph of Hermitage St. Patrick made his first court appearance before the Grenville Magistrates Court Monday morning. Represented by attorney Andrew Thomas, he was placed on bail in the amount of $15,000 and will make his next court appearance on March 12th at the St. Patrick's Magistrates Court. Police say preliminary investigations suggest that the incident stemmed from a domestic dispute. A post on the accused's Facebook page prior to the incident reads, and I quote, "So just imagine a man and a woman work, build their house together, and as the house is about to finish, the woman wants to get rid of the man. But the worst part of it is the law, who doesn't know nothing, still wants to give the woman everything. No consideration for the man. This got to stop," unquote. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
One man and his family are left with only the clothes on their backs after losing his home to fire last week. Now having to start all over, the 52-year-old man is asking for the public's assistance. Rena Pear tells us more.
52-year-old Andy Thomas of Guave St. John lost all his possession last Tuesday in a fire, which consumed his entire home. Just hours at his job, Thomas said he received a phone call from a neighbor stating that his house is on fire. In an exclusive interview with GBN on the weekend, Thomas said he was in shock to see that his home was destroyed, left with nothing but the clothes on his back.
I reached out into the fire truck and smoke and nothing that I could do, everything was just down in flames already. And the only thing I left was water on me. And then the neighbors and them ended up giving me the things that they go by to set back myself, but other than that, everything is natural, still nothing going on yet. But it's a rough situation because things I have, they didn't come in as I should. But otherwise, I'm still trying to make it at the best. So I'm trying to post it, but it should be a little better, but I'll find out there's nothing I could do for that.
Presently, Thomas and his family resides at his brother's house, which has only one room and can barely house everyone. He said that persons from the parliamentary office in the area promised to assist with the materials to rebuild, but he is still waiting to receive them. Jesse Thomas, brother to Andy Thomas, says that he is forced to change his clothes outside the small house to accommodate his brother and his family.
So I have to accommodate him now. I have to accommodate him due to the fact that what transpired. And right now, he come like I have to change my clothes outside because they're so small. There's no room there to change nothing. So I have to accommodate him and his girlfriend. So due to that now, I have to change my clothes outside and do everything outside to accommodate him because I'm very sympathetic. He's my brother, you know. And it's a sad thing, you know, very sad.
They are both calling on the public to help his family in any way they can. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
While the number of vehicular accidents over the weekend would have dropped compared to the weekend prior, head of the traffic division of the Royal Grenada Police Force, Superintendent Randy Connaught, says they are still highly concerned about accidents, especially involving motorbikes. According to Officer Connaught, there were 19 minor accidents recorded from February 19th to the 21st, 2 of which involved motorbikes.
Accidents involving bikes still continue to remain a major focus, critical area of focus for us, because for that period we had 2 accidents involving motorcycles. One accident resulted in serious injury I should say, caused to a 7-year-old child who had his leg being broken as a result of that accident. That matter is currently under investigation. And a second accident involving a motorcycle in the Grand Anse area resulted in some minor injury to the cyclist himself.
The officer is calling for both motorists and pedestrians to remain focused when on the nation's roads. Superintendent Connaught also gave an update on Micah Williams, who was involved in a major accident last week Sunday night on the Maurice Bishop Highway.
We visited the hospital again, and we continue to visit to monitor his progress. And he is still in critical but stable condition. Our officers revisited the scene on Sunday, to follow up with the investigations. Of course, we would have had all the parties involved, except with the owner/driver himself, but his relative was present to witness the recording of the measurements from the scene of the accident. So we continue to investigate, we continue to hope and pray for his speedy recovery, and we will continue to update the media as we move forward.
Several trade unionists are of the belief that the integrity of collective agreements and, by extension, the labor movement is under siege. They say this has become more evident with the most recent fight for the 4% increasing salaries. Gerard Joseph has this story.
GUT President Marvin Anders says there are instances in which government has not met these obligations on nearly every collective agreement signed in the last 2 decades. Anders says in each collective agreement, there remains several articles yet to be implemented.
So, in essence, the government has developed the habit of urinating on every agreement that it would have signed with us in the past few years. And this is totally unacceptable.
He says government must respect the bargaining process, and any arrangement for a deferral should be made in the same process that created the agreement. Trade unionist Brian Grimes also supports that government should honor its obligations during his recent call for government to state the date.
Of course, it's a slap in the face. The situation with Grenlec, some want to separate it from this labor issue, but they are inseparable. Let me explain what I mean by that. For example, the government had the opportunity to repay workers their dock salaries, give them back their monies, to heal and ensure that that bilateral relationship is maintained for the benefit of workers and for the country on a whole. That would be about $2.5 million, approximately. The workers sat back and witnessed that the government found close to $200 million to give a private company and the people whose dignity was stripped in the heart of Christmas. $2.5 million cannot be paid back. It came with conditions that took away basically the rights of the labor movement. So they are looking at all of this.
Former president of the GUT, Kenny James, is adamant that government is capable of paying the increase.
This is not a negotiation anymore. This is a signed. The negotiation ended, you know. And so government was supposed to be budgeting long in advance for this. And I would go even further to say to you, if you look at the estimates, you would recognize that it has been increased for 2021 by 4-point-something%. But where's that 4-point-something% going? Clearly, it is distributed in other areas of government spending rather than to meet its commitment to the public officer.
President of the Trades Union Council and the Technical and Allied Workers Union, Senator Andre Lewis, also believes that if the government wants, they can pay. Government maintains its stance for the proposed deferral of the 4% wage increase. Its reason for the deferral is the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, which led to a decrease in revenue collection. The date now given by government to honor its commitment to public officers is December 2021. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
While many continue to grapple with job loss, decreased salary, and already a high cost of living, price increase of some commodities are about to add a new dimension to their challenges. It is anticipated that within weeks, people will see increased prices on food items as the shipping prices increase on the international market. One local businessman tells us what can be expected. Details in this report.
Families already strained will be forced to dig deeper into their pockets to purchase basic food items. 1 week ago, Caribbean Agro Industries implemented an increase in the cost of flour and animal feeds, which one individual foresees as the beginning of what's to come. Andy Williams, owner of Hotspot, says he has decided to bite the bullet to keep his flour at the same price.
Let me just say this, right? In a few weeks, we will see a general rise in the price of all food items and in general on a general basis. Why? Because as Pastor said, the freight costs across the world have increased. So we will see food price going up and up and up. right? And to me, yes, I can increase the price of the flour, but it's just like, how much more can people take?
According to Minister for Trade and Consumer Affairs, Alvin Dabrio, government is considering some alternatives after the price of animal feed and flour went up from 6 to 16%. Since the increase, government met with the farmers' associations affected to lend their support while giving Caribbean Agro another opportunity to reduce the prices. Sanford Simon, pastor of the St. George's Baptist Church, says it's up to government to decide on how they will handle these continuous increases.
It's going to be hard on families. The question going to be is how government going to handle this, because this had to be an overall approach, not just an individual approach. The businesses, because freight is going up. In construction, I am seeing it. If you go to construction, prices are up. So everything going to go up. I think it generally going to be how government going to address this, because it's going to impact every home, every family.
Economist Dr. Patrick Antoine recently explained that an increase in corn and soya by 40 to 60% is affecting all Caribbean countries, and as such, he predicts that the situation will get worse.
The Caribbean, for instance, in Trinidad and Tobago, many of the entities are not giving you prices going forward. You can't forward buy anymore. You can't buy, 1,000 bags of feed to be delivered 3 months from now, because they're concerned about where the prices will go. And what's happened is that many firms, enable mills, have been able to not pass on the increase yet because they're using from the old stock. But many of them, as the new stock comes into manufacture, are forced to use it.
Chrislyn John, GBN News.
This is News at 7. Coming up, long lines at Radisson Resort as frontline workers and employees within the tourism industry take the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. Stay with us.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here, even when the future seems unclear. Because one thing is certain, you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Your hard work, talent, and creativity, plus Flow, equals more ways to chase your dreams. Flow is connecting all of Grenada, from Point Salines to Hillsborough, with the most reliable connection on the island. So now everyone can work, study, and keep moving forward together. Visit discoverflow.co for more information.
Imagine your day without having to wait in line, without having to write at every store, without touching the pen everyone else used, having your info exposed to everyone. Sounds great, huh? Well, it's possible. Here is Teta. With Teta, you download once, register once, and just scan to check in everywhere. No hassle, no forms, no hold up. Simple and easy. Teta lets you explore, discover new places, new products, and new experiences. What are you waiting for? Get Teta for free from your app store today and enjoy contactless convenience.
Have you ever felt the need to give back to your vegetable or flower garden, lawn, potted plants, or planters? The Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority is pleased to introduce the new Home Garden Composter. A neat, efficient, quick, and easy start to home composting. Get great value from your food scraps, grass, lawn clippings, paper waste, and animal manure through home composting. When you do, you will be returning valuable nutrients to the earth rather than discarding at the landfills. Get started with a Home Garden Composter, now available at Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority, and let your Home Garden Composter make your gardening dreams come true.
When I need shelter, warmth, security, I know you'll be there. Something in these moments lets me know you care. Maybe the way you shield me, maybe it's your smiles and the way you tell me it's okay to try. Now I'm invincible, I can back myself. 'cause it's okay to look back if I am scared. I know you're there. Arise, together there's no limit to what we can do. Arise, with no wings, fly. Arise, and we're so high, enjoy the view. Arise, look, no wings, fly.
This is Ariza, your financial freedom, your future.
Brace yourselves, because
on Sunday, February 28th from 6 p.m.
get set for another massive Wacky virtual bingo,
the backyard edition.
And this time you can win a whopping $20,000.
Are you kidding me right now?
No joke, $20,000, and tickets are only $20 in Grenada. Tickets are available at gotofed.com or numerous box offices island-wide, or at our main office on Grove Street Mall.
If you're overseas, tickets are only available on gotofed.com.
Remember,
this time we're playing in our backyards.
So it's gonna be more fun and more excitement. Sunday, February 28th. Get ready for Wacky Virtual Bingo,
the new way to play bingo.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here, even when the future seems unclear. Because one thing is certain, you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Medical Dr. Francis Martin is advising people with respiratory conditions to use preventer medication before the expected arrival of a plume of Saharan dust in the coming days. We get more in this report.
The Meteorological Office at the Maurice Bishop International Airport issued a warning on Sunday that a plume of Saharan dust is expected to travel across the southern Eastern Caribbean. Though the advisory forecasted minimal impact, it highlighted that conditions can change over time and that 24-hour exposure can lead to moderate health concerns. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Medical Dr. Francis Martin is encouraging the three vulnerable groups of people: children, the elderly, and those living with respiratory and heart disease to have their medications on hand.
The parts that are of human consideration are the particles that are smaller than 25 micrograms. This means that these particles are respirable, meaning that it is possible for us to inhale it into our lungs, and that's where the problem really is. It can cause anything from allergic reactions in the lungs to exacerbation of asthma to sinus problems, nasal problems, and in some people who are very sensitive, it can actually cause skin problems or skin disease. So for these types of persons, if you know you are sensitive to the dust, it's important that you keep your medicines close by, because most likely you would have already known that you're asthmatic, you would have already known that you have sensitive skin, and so you need to keep your medicines close by.
Dr. Martin said that for people with asthma, ensure they have both preventer and reliever medications.
The two most important medicines are the steroid medicines and the Ventolin inhalers, which helps to open up the airway so that you can breathe properly. The Becotide or the steroid inhalers are the preventers, so they prevent you from getting into an attack. But if it fails and you actually do get into an attack, then you need to take the reliever, which is the Ventolin, and that helps to open up the airway. The other thing the Becotide does, it stops the mucus production, because it's the mucus that actually blocks the airway that leads to wheezing in the first place anyway. So you really want to stop that.
The National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA, advises all to use every precautionary measure to guard against the harmful effect of the prevailing atmospheric conditions. Joseph Kador, GBN News.
misinformation about COVID-19 vaccine was insufficient to deter frontline workers and workers in the tourism and hospitality sectors, as long lines were observed at Radisson to take the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. A week of mass testing on a first-come, first-served basis was announced by the Ministry of Health starting Monday. More in this report.
Despite the doubts and concerns created over the AstraZeneca vaccine, its effectiveness and origin, a large turnout was witnessed today at the Radisson Grand Beach Resort, which was designated as the vaccination station by the Ministry for Health this week. An appeal was made to frontline workers, including law enforcement officers, airport workers, hotel employees, taxi operators, media workers, among others, to get vaccinated this week. Recently, Health Minister Nicholas Steele referred to the vaccine as the answer to all our questions, as it presented hope for a return to normalcy. Today, he reiterated the point as he expressed satisfaction with the turnout from the various sectors.
I think the sector recognizes, one, and appreciates the stress and pressure they have been through as a result of COVID-19, and more importantly, recognizes that the vaccination is a solution. And with us being vaccinated, we can look forward to an opening up of our economies and getting back to life as normal, and finally putting COVID-19 behind us, and in particular our tourism industry and our tourism workers. They recognize that, and they recognize the risk of them not having the vaccine as frontline workers in the hospitality industry.
GBN spoke to some of the people who were vaccinated, the majority of whom were from the tourism and hospitality sector. Most of them shared the same sentiment. It's the beginning of a means to restart the tourism and hospitality sectors.
I think it's a fantastic thing. This is something we've been waiting for in Grenada, and it's a great opportunity for us to start to get our population protected from the pandemic. And I applaud the government and the GHTA and the GTA for making this all happen. Well, I think as we get, look, right now we're in one of the, when you're looking at the pandemic, we're one of the safest places in the world. But it's important that for people to understand, especially tourists when they come in here, that our staffs are vaccinated and that they're protected. So this is a really good step in the right direction in getting our tourism back on board.
Well, I think for those hotels that are bringing welcoming people from all over the world, and we do having a quarantine program, it's very important that they take it, because that will be like the window to Grenada. That'll be the window to introduce COVID-19 to Grenada. So I think it's very important that they take it. So if they don't get it, it's less likely that it gets into the general population. I personally don't like needles, so that was my personal phobia or fear. But other than that, not too much. I mean, people have been taking it for a lot of months now, and I haven't heard anything too crazy that seems reliable. So far, nothing yet. It's been 10-15 minutes, nothing yet.
I'm very happy that this happens in Grenada, because I believe this is a very important step to go forward to a so-called normal life. So I'm very happy. I'm feeling perfect. I'm sitting here waiting that I'm even feeling better. And no, I find it's a very good initiative. It was very pleasant, everything here, and it was a very good experience.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell and officials from the Health Ministry, including Health Minister Nicholas Steele, were the first to receive the vaccine in Grenada on February 12th. They are expected to receive their second dose of the vaccine on March 26th. So far, Grenada received 6,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine. For GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
Several areas throughout the country have been identified as abandoning sites for animals as owners part way with them for various reasons. The Grenada Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals has reported a surge in strays, more dogs than cats. Chrislyn John spoke to the president of the Grenada Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals about this concern.
Areas such as Granitang have been identified as hotspots to abandon unwanted animals. In an exclusive interview with GBN, President of the Grenada Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, the GSPCA, Luana Levy, says the problem arises as a result of some animals not being spaded or neutered, resulting in litter after litter increasing the population, as well as animal owners dumping them in specific areas.
I would definitely say that last March
right when we went on to the lockdown. April into May into June, I would say from April to about August, we definitely saw an increase. There are certain areas on the island that tend to be the dumping sites, and Granatang is one. Fort Judy, Wester Hall area is another, and we specifically saw an increase.
He says with the job cuts due to the COVID-19 pandemic, some homeowners have become frustrated and can no longer care for the animals and so dump them off in certain places. Levy says they provide support to people for the animals. However, the spacing cannot accommodate too many at one time.
Know that they were quote-unquote dumped versus just stray animals. Number one, the residents noticed that they were new animals on the block that they had never seen before. We posted pictures to say, is this your lost dog? This is where it is. We got no response. And then we can tell that they were obviously animals that were well taken care of at some point and now were deteriorating because now living the life on the street.
The organization works to ensure that animals are taken care of and have a home where they can be loved. They have sheltered and taken many stray animals off the streets. There is a law against animal cruelty, she says. It was noted that one individual was brought to court and fined for the act.
Small base here, and we do the best we can. But do your part in terms of, I always say, be kind to animals, be responsible owners, and a saying from our previous president, love your animals.
Chrislyn, John, GBN News.
Interesting. And now we turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Trellona Charles has been looking around the platforms.
This is Social Buzz, where we shine a light on the thoughts and concerns of our online audience. A video showing a female dragging a dog on a leash in an inhumane manner was seen circulating on social media last week. The video caught the attention of the Grenada Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, and the puppy has since been rescued and is now safe.
The puppy wasn't moving, but that was Sunday evening. I decided to go down and see if I could possibly find the puppy, and met a great group of individuals who said, yes, the puppy actually did come to and he's around, and they were able to find him for me.
Our online audience had plenty to say on the topic of animal cruelty in Grenada. Samuel commented, it's about time. People like this should be prosecuted for such inhumane acts on animals. Lupita added, I was so upset when I saw the video. A dog's love is much more real than even some human beings. Another individual commented, that's all we do. Share everything without thinking of the implications. The law should be more harsh when dealing with this madness and irresponsible social media pests. I'm happy the puppy is safe and well, thanks to GSPCA. Another individual asked, so no help for that woman who is clearly having a mental breakdown? And Michelle commented, people are laughing like it's a joke. Yes, she is mentally ill and thank God the dog is okay. But this is no laughing matter. For those who don't know and don't read, there is a thin line between sanity and insanity. I have seen educated people at Mount Gay Hospital. That's it for tonight's Social Buzz. If you would like to have your thoughts and concerns shared, be sure to comment on GBN's Facebook page.
Now we move from the thought process to the visual impact. It's time to take a peek through the GBN Eyesore lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN Eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
You know us, but we knew. You feel at home with every visit. An experienced team offering personalized courtier service and trendy brand name lifestyle products. Changing the vision care landscape one customer at a time. Clear Vision Eye Center. People and technology coming together to help you see the world with a clearer vision.
Tonight, our ISOR submission comes from a concerned reporter who pointed out a photograph taken in Bay Road Conference St. Andrew. Our reporter said the owner of the land sprayed the entire roadside because he doesn't want residents to tie or graze animals there. Adding that people are living along the opposite side of the road, our reporter considers this as obnoxious and cruel. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 4053052 or our other social media platforms.
Still ahead, Grenada is set to implement a marine waste management policy. I want to hear about that. This is News at 7.
We understand it can be hard getting from the bus terminal to the Kirani James Athletic Stadium just to get your fresh fruits and veggies. But guess what? Your troubles are over. Enjoy a free bus shuttle from the bus terminal to the temporary market at the Kirani James Stadium
every Friday and Saturday until the end of March.
Let us buy local, eat local, and support our local market vendors.
How going on, boy? Hey, good old things. Hey, easy. Yeah. Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day. Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service. Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy. Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
The Public Utilities Regulatory Commission is inviting the general public to a national consultation on Thursday, 25th February at the St. Patrick Anglican Primary School in Sortes from 5 to 7 p.m. Discussions will surround the draft Grenada Electricity Sector Grid Code, transmission and distribution. The document can be reviewed online at www.purc.gd. Participants should RSVP by Wednesday by calling 437-1602 or via email to consultation@purc.gd. Spaces are limited. The session will also be carried live on GIS Facebook and GBN's Facebook and YouTube pages. The PERC, protecting your interests. Get involved. Your voice matters.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
Tropical shipping is fast and reliable. Always on time, safe and affordable. Friendly staff here to connect you. Tropical worldwide, you must get you. Shop online and you get it on time. Hassle free to meet your deadline. Consolidate any size, any load with tropical shipping, so we ship everything. I can't wait to ship with tropical. I can't wait. No package too big, too small. I cannot wait to ship with tropical. No package too big, too small. Just ship with tropical.
Local agents, George F. Huggins and Company, Grenada Limited. Telephone number 440-8787 or visit our website at www.tropical.com. Email us at grenadasales@tropical.com. Tropical Shipping, committed to island life. What are you looking for? Top quality copy paper, linen paper, bond paper maybe, or lunch bags, maybe a gift set, or maybe you're just not sure. Then visit us today. K&R Bookstore. We are so much more than your regular bookstore. Visit us at the corner of Scotch and Young Street, or give us a call 420-5307 or 321-3500. K&R Bookstore. Convenience, quality, excellent prices.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Paying is faster and easier with Flow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/fastpay and press Consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Flow, keeping you connected.
Last week, the Grenada Christian Academy kicked off their Tech Day, which aimed to educate every student on the responsible use of the technology, which has become a tool to conduct classes during the pandemic. Trellona Charles visited the school as they embarked on day 2 of the initiative and brings us this report.
The second day of the Grenada Christian Academy's Tech Day took place on Monday. During the school day, students and teachers engaged in their regular class schedule, but only used technological devices in the form of laptops and tablets in the classroom. The school's principal, Catherine King, said since the announcement of the Tech Day, the students have been very excited for the opportunity to use their devices in class.
Right, the students are really excited when we told them that, hey, this is what we're planning, what we're going to have. They are really excited. The fact that they would be given that opportunity where learning would be solely through virtual, even if they're not home. And they are now in the position to be responsible. And that's one of the things we want the students to take away from the Tech Day, responsibility.
She said while school was done virtually as a result of the pandemic, there were many issues faced by students attempting to log into classes from home.
And the students are making excuses. So there are lots of issues. Then we have issues with parents who are saying that I am at home and the students are not doing the work. We also have issues where parents are saying, well, I'm at work and I have my phone with me, and that should not be a problem because all of the students have been given devices. So yes, there have been several issues. Then we also have the issue with internet. There are some students, based on where they live, it is a serious problem for them. They cannot get the internet. So
various platforms were utilized by teachers to plan and conduct lessons and quizzes, while students participated and took notes using their devices. Mrs. King said this exercise will enable teachers to work alongside students to alleviate some of the problems faced in the past.
Because a number of students have been saying, I cannot get onto the platform because of a reason, why reason. It gives the teacher now the opportunity to see what the students are doing wrong. So we think that having it, the all Tech Day, where teaching and learning would be done through the use of the devices, it would give us the opportunity to see what the children are doing wrong. And the children would recognize, hey, virtual teaching is fun. Learning virtually, it's fun. So we think it's going to really help us.
Trellona Charles, GBN News.
Grenada is set to implement a marine waste management policy with amendments to the existing legislation and the introduction of accompanying regulations. This policy is aimed at setting up a management system for marine waste management, including monitoring, funding, penalties, and cost structures. Grenada is also taking important steps to further protect its marine environment for future generations, while creating opportunities opportunities for the sector. The Tri-Island nation is working with the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARFA, to develop a public-private sector partnership to reduce marine waste coming from pleasure vessels, such as yachts. The project, dubbed Integrating Water, Land and Ecosystem Management in the Caribbean for Small Island Developing States, will examine Grenada and Carriacou's current capacity and create research-based solutions to deal with waste in an eco-friendly manner. Over the COVID-19 period, the Kiwanis International Club embarked on several initiatives throughout the state of Grenada aimed at giving back to communities. Cynthia Blackman, Lieutenant Governor in charge of the Caribbean Division for Kiwanis International, spoke of the Grenada Club and some of the work they have been doing.
The Grenada Club was formed about 3 years ago, and they have been very active in the community. During COVID, we did not stop work. We were, we put on our PPE equipment, and we've been out there in the community. Even during this COVID period, we have had our kids clubs in particular out there still serving in the communities. So some of them have given up their money from buying snacks to help buy food that they can contribute to the feeding program within their communities. They're also they brought cheer at Christmas time. They did programs in the community. So even during COVID, our Kiwanis clubs, we've still been very active within the community.
Ms. Blackman says that there are sub-clubs created within schools from the primary to tertiary level, which provides leadership and educational training for the future generation. She also explained some of the traits they hope to instill in children and the community at large in the Caribbean and the rest of the world.
So we're encouraging children from very young to give back to the community. We're helping them to understand the importance of helping others and serving others. And therefore, I think over the long term, you'll see the impact of the Kiwanis movement across the entire world, because we are developing future leaders. And by extension, these children, when they're finished their primary school or their tertiary institutions, they're going to continue to serve because they were brought up in a world of serving and helping others. And when you see children giving up their snack money so that they can buy a food item that they can give to a feeding program within their community, that speaks a lot,
The Lieutenant Governor also stated that the Kiwanis Club assists vulnerable students with free CXC tutoring classes, among others. Stay with us. Weather and sports up next. This is GBN News at 7.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom.
For that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
Pharmacy offers both wholesale and retail pharmaceutical and over-the-counter products. We have the most competitive and affordable prices. We are the agents for Vit Plus multivitamin for healthy everyday lifestyle and Sanatogen powder. Hills and Valley Pharmacy supplies the best quality, name brand clinical products such as Rescue Oil, Bio Oil, Neutrogena, Aveeno, and Clarisil. We offer the most convenient opening hours. Our telephone numbers are 435-6904 or 6903. Remember, at Hills and Valley Pharmacy, your health is our business. We care.
Now open, Hills Valley Medicare Center, your one-stop for medical supplies, massage therapy, physiotherapy, and an in-house physician. At Hills Valley, your health is our business.
Do you know what time it is? You guessed right, it's detox time again. At Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. Purchase our 7-day cleansing pack for only $500. Includes everything you need for a complete total body cleanse. Cleanse your blood, kidney, liver, and colon. This cleanse will help you lighten up and get rid of the excess. Also available are our special product Detox Combo Pack for only $100. Try our single detox products starting from $40. Check us out now. Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area, or call us on 231-6642, 449-7753, or 418-7115. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. Detox, your way to health.
Keeping an eye on the weather, this is GBN. We've got you covered.
Taking a look at tonight's minimum temperature, 24.5 degrees Celsius. Weather is expected to be generally fair and breezy, becoming partly cloudy at times with few brief showers. Winds expected to be east-northeasterly to easterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate to rough, waves 6 to 8 feet in northerly to northeasterly swells. A marine advisory remains in effect. Tides are high tonight at 10 p.m. and low at 4:15 a.m. On Tuesday, the weather is expected to be generally fair and breezy, becoming partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy, with few brief showers, mainly overnight. On Wednesday, middle of the week, partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy, hazy and windy with few brief showers, becoming generally fair during the evening. On Thursday, we're looking at partly cloudy, hazy, and windy with few brief to widely scattered showers. That's it for your weather forecast right here on GBN News.
Good evening, sporting fans. I'm Trellona Charles. St. Andrews sits on top of the standings after match day 2 in the NLA GBL T20 after the opening over the weekend. St. Andrew first defeated St. John in the opening match on Saturday by 107 runs after scoring 179 for 5 wickets, with Teddy Bishop smashing the first half century, 79 from 39 balls. St. Andrew then thrashed St. David on Sunday by 8 wickets after restricting St. David to 97 for 9 wickets. St. Andrew easily chased, with Teddy Bishop and Anil Matthew scoring 31 and 33 runs respectively. St. David won match 2 over St. Mark by 5 wickets, who bowled out for 95 runs, while match 3 saw St. George defeating St. Patrick by 25 runs. St. George scored 136 for 7 wickets as Akim Alexis top scored with 43 and Javid Hazard 30 before restricting St. Patrick to 111 for 9 wickets. Now moving on to the CG Super 50 Cup, Andre McCarthy took 6 wickets, including a hat-trick, as the Jamaica Scorpions defeated the Barbados Pride by 51 runs at the Coolidge Cricket Ground and booked a date with Trinidad Red Force in the semi-finals of the CG Insurance Super 50 on Wednesday, chasing 200 and caught by Brandon King off Fabian Allen for 51 and triggered a rot from which Barbados would never recover. That's it for sports. Up next, Around the Globe. Tonight we take a probe around the globe to see what's happening. Huge crowds of protesters are marching in towns and cities across Myanmar to protest against the military coup. Despite a recent crackdown that saw 2 protesters shot dead in the city of Mandalay, protesters have answered the call for a general strike that has shut down businesses and transport links across the country. Al Jazeera's Tony Cheng reports.
From the air, Myanmar's southern city of Dawei appears completely jammed. Thousands of protesters blocking streets in the city centre. They marched despite a warning from the military that lives will be lost if the protests continue. The thinly veiled threat came in a statement read out on state TV on Sunday night. It blamed the weekend's violence on emotional teenagers. But on the ground, there's no mistaking the demonstrators' message. They won't accept the military coup. And calls for the release of the country's democratic leader Aung San Suu Kyi, who's been held by the military in isolation since the beginning of the month. Across the country, tensions remain high.
We were holding a sit-in protest and the police cracked down on us using force. There were many and they arrest many protesters.
A general strike is being widely observed, shutting banks and businesses and bringing transport systems to a halt. And despite the short-term impact, many feel that's the most effective way to make the military back down.
Today is a day for countrywide protest. We do not want to stay under the control of a military dictatorship. So we came here to join the protest regardless of the salaries we make. Nothing will happen if my salary is cut. But if we stay under the control of a military dictatorship, we will become their slaves.
Even in the capital, Naypyidaw, a city whose wide boulevards were designed for the military to maintain control, civil servants took to the streets. But the protesters have no illusions about the dangers they face. This candlelit vigil held to commemorate those who've already died in the protests. With the military and protesters both standing their ground, real concern, there's more violence to come. Tony Cheng, Al Jazeera.
Shops, gyms and malls have started reopening in Israel as nearly half of its population has been vaccinated against the coronavirus. Israel's vaccination drive was one of the world's fastest, with 45% of its residents given the Pfizer-BioNTech jab, ahead of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's re-election bid in March. Those that have been inoculated get a Green Pass app, which allows them to use gyms and go to theaters. Al Jazeera's Harry Fawcett reports from West Jerusalem, Israel.
After 5 months, West Jerusalem's YMCA gym is open again as Israel emerges further from its latest and potentially last lockdown. But it's a selective reopening. Only those with the so-called Green Pass on paper or phone app proving full vaccination against or recovery from COVID-19 can come in to work out.
I am so happy to be back here. I love this place, and I've been working out for about an hour and 20 minutes so far, and I feel fantastic.
Not all gyms are reopening. Some cite difficulties in persuading staff to get the vaccine. Some doubt they'll have enough vaccinated customers to make a profit.
We believe that this is best for the community in general and specifically for our members. It has its challenges because it's a load of work that usually we do not have, but I believe that with time things will become easier.
Israel is relying on the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine as its ticket back to normality, with nearly half the population having had at least one jab. Health Ministry figures released on Saturday suggest it's about 99% effective in preventing serious illness and death 2 weeks after the second dose. Younger, more vaccine-reluctant Israelis are being enticed with free snacks and drinks. But some epidemiologists say a highly protected older population may just have to live alongside a less protected younger group where the virus could continue to thrive. For the Prime Minister, whose campaign for next month's election leans heavily on his back-to-life message, the Green Pass is crucial.
You can get your Green Pass and head to the gym and other sporting and cultural events.
His government will soon be running a giant social experiment by distinguishing, some say discriminating, between those who have and have not been vaccinated.
Particularly, I think that it's extremely dangerous. You can divide between two populations if there is a good medical reason. So, for example, if someone was exposed to someone infected and he is vaccinated, to tell him you don't need to stay at home, that's okay. That's a medical decision.
It's a balancing act that will be examined closely by other countries with lockdown-weary populations desperate for a taste of their old lives.
Democracy is not infringing on other people and making them ill. So if somebody doesn't want to, so let them stay in their house.
Israel got its vaccination head start in part by volunteering to be a giant lab for the vaccine's effectiveness. From now, it's also running a country-sized test on how to use it. Harry Fawcett, Al Jazeera, West Jerusalem.
That's it for tonight's probe around the globe. Stay with us for a reminder of tonight's top stories.
Recap of this evening's headlines. St. Patrick's man placed on bail for Friday's house fire, while victim in Guave pleads for public assistance. People with respiratory conditions urged to use preventer medication before the arrival of a plume of Saharan dust. Long lines on Monday as frontline workers and workers in the tourism and hospitality sectors take the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. GSPCA reports increase in stray dogs. In around the globe, protests in Myanmar lead to strikes across the country, and Israel reopens malls and gyms as 45% of the population get vaccinated. In sports, St. Andrew tops standings in the Grenada Premier League T20 tournament, and Jamaica Scorpions defeat Barbados Pride in the CG Insurance Super 50 Cup. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or on GBN Television's Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Chrislyn Lashington. That's the news. We'll see you again. Good night.